You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Looking forward to getting into a topic that I've been interested in sharing with you for a couple weeks now. And the reason is I had the pleasure of working with a health coach in my practice, because a lot of times in my private concierge practice, I'm working with a lot of doctors and health coaches and health practitioners themselves. So they know a lot about health overall. They have already been studying it for many years, and a lot of people have been studying this thing called the law of attraction, or the ability to basically visualize or think about their goals and essentially manifest them into their life. I love that mindset. I love the mindset of exploration. I love the mindset of the ability to be the master of your own universe, as I spoke a little about last week on the 1000th episode. I do hope that you tuned in for that. So I like the mindset because it's the mindset that if you believe in the law of attraction, that means that you believe in a greater future for yourself. Because most people that are practicing using this law of attraction or manifestation-based formula, they want a better, a greater, a more vibrant future for themselves. And that's a beautiful thing, right? There's just a lot of dissent, a lot of disagreement, and a lot of kind of back and forth of whether this actual law of attraction works. Well, the truth is this, and it's actually very simple and very straightforward when you look at it at really a practical lifestyle point of view. And it's this. The law of attraction, for those who aren't familiar with it, are those people that visualize. They want to visualize and maybe even cut out photos or save photos of what they want in their life. Relationship, career, maybe it's material things such as a car or home, health, body, spirituality, you name it. You can visualize it. If you can see it and you can believe it, then you can make it happen, right? So, and I'm a big advocate of that. I'm a huge proponent of it. But I also look at things from my Western-based mindset, because that's really how I grew up, and I really am that way. I do want to see the science. I want to see, how does this work? But at the same time, I believe that we haven't always caught up with science. Now, through what I've spoken about before, which is quantum mechanics and quantum physics, we're seeing we are vibrational-based beings, and everything in this world is vibrational. And we know that by using a tuning fork and other vibrational-based instruments, that we can pull other things of the same vibration towards us, like attracts like. So that makes sense. But also from a practical standpoint, how about the fact that if you believe... So first of all, you have to imagine it. So think of it this way. It is myself, let's say, as a 17-year-old kid. Now, I didn't know how I was going to get better. No idea. But I was angry and I was upset. But my mom, who I have to give a lot of credit to, after 2 years of going from MD to MD, specialist to specialist all around Boston, and there was no hope and help for me, she never gave up. And she looked for what else can we do for my sick son. And so I give her credit and where credit's due. And she found a functional medicine practitioner right outside of where I lived in Medford. And we ended up going to a functional medicine doctor, and this is 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. And they basically shone a new light on all of the different available methods there are for testing the body and discovering what the underlying imbalances are that got you here in the first place. So what did we do? Well, we didn't know anything about functional medicine, certainly not in Medford, Massachusetts, I'll tell you that, and seriously, and not in the late 90s either. So think of it this way. What we wanted was my health. My mother focused on that as much as I focused on that, and all of a sudden a friend mentioned, hey, there's a functional medicine doctor. They do something different than conventional medicine, might be worth checking out. Well, so what does that show you? Well, first you have the visualization. Then you need to believe, or at least keep the faith long enough that you're willing to keep trying. What happens after that? Well, then you open yourself up to the possibilities that it could come true. And when you open yourself up to the possibilities, your ears are open, your eyes are open, your senses are open, so that when someone mentions something, you don't shrug it off because you've been open to it, because it's on your mind. And then what do? You then take an action. We showed up at that doctor's office. That doctor then, over the course of an hour, began to just explain the beginnings of what I now know as the HPA axis that I've talked about before with the adrenals. He began to talk about food sensitivities and diet. I had no idea that food affected your health. That's serious. I'm being real serious about that. We had no idea that food really affected your health and could make you sick. And a lot of people don't know that to this day. So he taught us about so many things, sent us home with some lab tests. All of a sudden, we run the lab tests, we figure out what's going on with my body. Again, these are the same lab tests that I try to provide people today. Paying it forward. Well, what happened is we took that action that delivered us a result. Now, did I get better immediately? No, but I was right away now on my path to healing. I knew now what I needed to study. And if you give me a path, I will, I'll take that to the extreme. I will make sure that I go all the way down it, that I figure that out, that no matter what obstacle I see, I'm going to find a way around it, I'm going to find a way over it, or I'm going to run right through it. That's basically the mindset that I try to take with things. Now, it's a little bit like a bull in a china shop. It's not always the best way to do it. But when I'm serious about something is that I'm going to make it happen. But with the law of attraction, we often leave out the action part of the law of action or a law of attraction, right? So we visualize it. We put up the vision boards, and I love that. Nothing wrong with that at all. We think about it. We might meditate on it, and we desire it. Okay. Well, that's not enough. That's not enough. That's a lot of times where the law of attraction leaves off. And I've spoken about this before, and I want to take this to the next level in just a moment. But what I need you to know is this, is that without the action, you're basically telling the universe, you're telling the world this, is like, I'm willing and able and open to receiving whatever you want to give me, but I'm not going to put any work towards it. So again, we don't know for sure, but I can tell you this, if you're not putting in the work and there's the opportunity for someone that is willing to put in the work and they have that same desire, I believe that work creates a lot of the vibration as well, because now you are a human being, right? You are being, and I love that famous quote or prayer that I don't know if it's an Amish saying or not, but it's as you pray, move your feet. I love that. So say your prayers, believe in what you believe, visualize, meditate on, create the vision board, but move your feet at the same time. Move towards your goal. If you want to create a new career, I need you to take the certification, go to the seminars, meet the people, study, do whatever you need to do. It would then allow you to get into that new career. Step by step, day by day. That's what it's all about. Same in relationships. You're not going to meet the perfect person if you don't go out and meet people. Like, that's a big part of it, right? Because a lot of times it's a numbers game, and you have to look at it that way. Same for health. It might take you a couple dozen practitioners like it did for me before I find the right one. I might have to read a couple hundred books, whatever it is, to really figure out what's going on here, and then it all clicks. Same with diet plans. A lot of people try to lose weight. Well, it might take a dozen different plans for you to figure out and finally for it to click to say, hey, I can't eat these types of foods, or I certainly can't eat them every day, or my body really does need 4 to 5 days of movement. You're going to need to begin to work the process. Don't give up. Giving up is just you just saying, okay, my dreams aren't worth it. What I need you to do is just say, I'm not willing to give up. Haven't figured it out quite yet. Going to continue to see, going to continue to believe, and I'm going to continue to move my feet towards me reaching my goal. So what I need you to always remember is that action is part of that secret sauce, is part of that ingredient. And that what, in my opinion, daily action, I love the idea of daily action. I'm not talking about one big day of moving towards your goal a week. I'm talking about little things every day, even if it's for 1 hour a day, moving towards that goal. And the reason is this. I believe that by doing it every day, you change your vibration. I believe that every day you keep it more in your mind and on your mindset. So you're more open to the opportunities. You're more open to the conversation, the people, that you're around the places, people, and things that might be able to help you along with your journey. And don't deny their help. You don't need to do it all on your own. When I was trying to get well, I looked towards every health coach and every practitioner and every doctor that I could find. And you know what? I could usually take a little bit of information from each one, even if they didn't have the full answer. And I was grateful for their help because every single one of them, except for a couple of the specialists who thought they were the gift to this world, every single one of them were able to bring something to my life. And then one day, me staying open, me continue to read books, still not fully better yet, a lot of relapsing still going on, but getting better, but still a lot of relapsing. Finally meet my mentor. What did I do, though, when I met my mentor, when I read her book? I contacted her. What did I do when I contacted her? And she said, sure, I'd be willing to meet with you. What did I do? I took a bus to Maine. That was it. That's how driven I was to make sure that I figured this out, because by then I already knew. I was already training. I was working with celebrities and professional athletes and you name it. And I was working on the nutrition and their exercise, and I had all that down pat. But I didn't have myself fully down pat yet. I didn't know me. I didn't know how to fix this body completely, because I was getting well, but I would still relapse. So I was still committed. I was committed to learning that and then being able to teach it to others. While I meet with her, she brings together multiple disciplines, which is what I try to do today with our integrative health practitioners, which is actually relaunching today if you're listening to this live. And I was open to it. And you know what I also did is, when she explained things to me in ways that I never heard before and about new topics, I didn't shoot them down right away, even though my conscious mind was saying, this is not true. But I said, you know what? This person clearly knows what they're talking about. They're very smart. They wrote the textbooks and studied under the most preeminent Ayurvedic doctor in the entire United States. They were chosen as the person to do that. They know what they're talking about. Let me stay open to this. Let me research a little bit more. And that was really the foundation for me staying open to everything always, even to this day. If someone wants to show me something better than I'm doing right now, I'll always question it. Not because I don't think you're right. I do that with my team all the time. It's not because I don't think that they're right. It's because I want to know deeper, at a deeper level. How much do you believe in that? How much research do you have behind it? Tell me about some case studies. Tell me why it's better than what I'm currently doing right now. Because my goal is to serve to the greatest, to my ability, to others, to make sure that they get the results they want. I've already got my results. I don't need any more results. I mean, I'm always working on myself, but in terms of what I want out of life, I'm there. Now, do I ever stop? No, because there's always more than I can move into, and that's what I want to explain next. But I want to tell you is this: I have my health. I have the body transformation that I want, relationships, career, spirituality. Can it be taken to another higher level? I believe it can, and that's what I work towards. But one more thing that I want to add to this is that none of this happened to me overnight. It was many years of working towards it. But I'll tell you this, I didn't know that it could be this good. I thought I was good by my early 30s. I thought I was good. That's as good as it gets, because I was very happy. I was moving towards it. I had those things. But as you learn and you continue down this path, you can deepen it. As you deepen it, things can get even better, in my opinion. That's why I'm staying open to things could be better than they are right now. But the one key that I want to share with you today is this. The way that I was able to finally get where I am today, and where, then again, it's not just me. I have no special gifts or magic or anything like that. I've just seen something that I've wanted to achieve. First, it was my health, and then it was, I'm always working on the same 5 things. I always tell you about that. The healthiest body I can have, the best health I can have. Obviously, with the best healthy bodies is being in shape. And that's because this is the only vehicle I have to carry me through life that I know of. And so I'm going to do my best to keep my body as healthy as possible. And then I have, working towards always better relationships. And then there's the spirituality part of it in my career. So, but here's what I found is that one big part, I've spoken about this before, is kind of one of the magical parts of the law of attraction, is that you have to first have the thought and you have to believe. So there's a lot of people that say, I would love to be, let's say, a health coach. And right now you're in finance, or you're in accounting, or you're a nurse at a hospital and you want to do more health coaching. Well, you have to first have the thought that that's what you want to do, but there's no way you know yet, because you haven't bridged the gap yet, of how you would ever make that happen. But first you just have to think the thought and then believe that there's some way out there that you can achieve this. And if you can start with that, then you're already on the road. But the biggest problem with the law of attraction is not that people don't take action, because, again, you can go to the seminars, read the books, take certifications, etc., to get the career that you want. You can do that. That's all available right now, and even more so than ever. I mean, look at it. Harvard, Stanford, Columbia, Princeton, I'm just thinking the names off the top of my head, are all doing online classes now. They're all doing online schooling. Online is the future of education. And I believe I've talked about this before, but One of the big things is this. If you can learn from the best doctors all over the world, not just doctors, obviously if you're in finance, the best economists, the best whatever it is in finance, accountants. So, if you can learn from the best in the world rather than the best at just one school, why would you not do that? I mean, why would you? That's just that's a no-brainer. If I want to learn, and I did, just for example, if I want to learn about podcasting, who am I going to contact? Am I going to go to school for that? I'm going to contact the people out there who've already done it, who have the best podcast, right? So obviously I believe this is the future. And the reason I'm saying that is because there's a lot of people right now saying, I have to go back for another 4-year degree. Probably not. Probably not. If your end goal is to serve or to be good at a specific topic or whatever it is, unless it's for licensure, you're probably going to be okay. If you want to go back, you want to practice law, well, then yes, you have to become an attorney. But there's other ways to help people as well. Maybe it's helping them set up a business and then you partner with an attorney, but you're the person that essentially sets up the business. There's so many different ways that you can just, do the work, study, etc. Anyway, it's one example is what I'm saying. But what I'm saying to you is I know that most of you could take the action. What a lot of people are missing out on, what a lot of people are being held back from is this. They are desiring or needing to achieve that goal in order to be happy, in order to feel that is what they truly have in their life. This is really important. So let me give this as health because that's what I do, right? So I'm not a relationship counselor or career advisor or any of those things. What I work on is body transformation. I work on health. I work on longevity and anti-aging. I speak about spirituality. I speak about better deepening of relationships. And I speak about certainly of how I believe that people can take their career to the next level through a practice of service. I certainly do speak in those things. But my area of focus is without a doubt health and everything that goes within that. So here's the thing though. Let's say that you're someone that's been very, very sick for many, many years. And you do though, because of case studies you've read and practitioners you've spoken with and podcasts you've listened to and articles you've seen, that people with your types of conditions or just in general, everyone it seems is able to get well if they're able to find out what they need to rebalance their body. So you're starting to think about and you're starting to believe that you can achieve this. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a great thing. That's the first step. But what you might be missing out is this, is that every day you're thinking about that goal as something you don't currently have. I want to repeat that. So if you're thinking about your goals, future tense, that you want to be healthy, that you need to be healthy in order to really have that life that you want, what are you actually saying? You're saying that you don't have the health. You're saying that you're unhealthy, that you're not a healthy person, and that you need that health in order to be well and in order to be happy. Well, guess what you're attracting at that point? You're reinforcing and telling yourself that you're not currently healthy right now. Now, of course, right? We know that that's true. That you're not currently healthy in this moment in time from a physical sense and currently from a vibrational based sense. And we know these things are true as well. You can actually see the vibrational levels of sick people, of healthy people, of ripe fruit, of unripe fruit. You can look at Kirlian-based photography. You can look at a lot of these things. There's actually science to back it up, but we're not going to get into that today. You're welcome to look it up. People always say, can you quote the study? You have the entire internet at your disposal. Please, you have PubMed, you have any journal you want to search, you have Google Scholar. You can literally type it into Google and just put it in for research or study, and it will populate. It will pop up. So, it's like tongue in cheek, happy to do it, but you're able to do this. And not only are you able to just get one study, you can get dozens or hundreds or thousands of studies. People are like, hey, could you show me a study that vitamin C actually works? And I could show you 10,000 studies that vitamin C actually works, dating back over 100 years. But I would love for you to take action and type that into Dr. Google, right? And there is no Dr. Google. I make fun of that. But literally, it's just going to Google and type in whatever you want to search, right? You know how to do that. So what I'm saying, though, is this. Getting back to our topic at hand. If you're asking to be well, if you're saying I need to be healthy, if you're saying one day I'll be healthy again, what you're telling the universe and what you're reinforcing in your own mind and body and subconscious is that you are unhealthy. This is extremely important. When you desire something, you are saying that you don't currently have it. That is not truly feeling the feelings, having the emotions of actually owning that thing. This is a very hard topic to grasp. but it's also the reason why you're not manifesting what you're currently manifesting. All right, it's one part of it. You need to do the work, and you need to do the correct work. But if you're open to it, you will eventually read the books, get the certifications, meet the practitioners, meet the coaches, therapists, whatever your goal is, you'll be able to do that, right? When I wanted to learn how to podcast, I hired a coach. When I was getting into sprint triathlons and I wanted to learn about transitions and improving my swim time, I hired a coach. So all of these things are possible. And if you can't hire the coach, that's totally fine as well. I read a book called Total Immersion. It taught me how to swim better. I took a course. It was expensive, but you get what you pay for a lot of time. It was a many $1,000 course on podcasting. I took it. I didn't have the time to study it, but I did it anyway. And then I hired a coach for podcasting. So, meaning I've done this in every area of my life I want to improve, and I know that you can do that as well. But here's something that could be holding you back from ever launching the podcast or ever getting well, is that you have to already feel the feelings that you are well, or that you have the career that you want. So you need to think about not only having the thing, but feeling the feeling of what it will be like living in that moment of having that thing. That is what blocked me forever from having the level of success in the 5 things that I want in life. Now, everyone has their own level of success. For finance, some people want to be a billionaire and they won't be happy till they're a billionaire. Okay? So it's not a goal of mine. But there's nothing wrong with that goal. That's someone else's goal. Mine is just to have the simple things in life that I personally want. That's what makes me happy. But maybe that changes 5 years from now. Who knows? Because of family needs or whatever it might be. Okay? So I can change that. But if I decide to change it, I need to feel the feelings of me already having the thing that I desired. Now, I did desire it, right? But I already have it now. It's so important. You need to say to yourself, you need to understand, and I've explained this before, but I'm going to continue to explain it, and I'll try to explain it from different methodologies as well, because sometimes, it's not grasped at first. This is also the reason why I read multiple books on the same topic, because every author is different, and they say the same thing, but they say it in a slightly different way. And for me to be able to pick it up and for others to pick it up, you might only get one way, one interpretation, although they're saying the same thing. And that's why, again, I love to read. I love to research, because I could even read the same thing twice, but a year apart. And now because of the year experience in between, I get it. I understand now what I read a year ago to a much better level. What I want you to understand with this whole attraction-based thing is that first you need to have that thought, right? Then you need to believe it's even a possibility. After that, you need to believe that you can actually achieve it. At that point, you're going to feel the feelings that you can do it. Then you're going to be able to be open to the opportunities. You're going to start to take the action, which is crucial. You must, right, pray, but also move your feet at the same time. But at the last piece, the key piece, because you could be taking the action. You might be someone that's not well right now, but you've been taking the action for years now. You've been seeing the practitioners, reading the books, listening to the podcast, doing the protocols, etc., but you're not there yet. Well, there is a possibility that you are currently holding yourself back because you are desiring to be well. You're telling yourself you're unhealthy every day, but hopefully one day you will get healthy. You need to start living like the person who's already well. And I did this by accident in my early to mid-20s, right before I really started to turn the corner. I was extremely sick, relapsed once again. I couldn't fall asleep because I was a complete insomniac till about 27, 28 years old. Took me hours to fall asleep, really just in a really dark place, lying like I always did at night with my eyes wide awake, even though it's pitch black in my room. And I said to myself, you know what? And I was broken down, I was emotional, all of these things. I said to myself this is the last night. This is it. No longer. This is not me. This is not who I am. I'm stronger than this, and I don't care if I can't fall asleep ever again. I actually don't care if I never sleep again. I don't care if I have insomnia for the rest of my life. I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm not going to be a victim to this. I'm not going to be a victim to my poor health. I'll suffer with the sinus infections. I'll suffer through pneumonia and the flu-like symptoms. I'll suffer with the poor energy and the brain fog and the inability to sleep. I'm not going to complain about it, and I'm not going to focus on it. I have to believe that that is one of the reasons why I began to turn the corner. Because after that, when I went to bed at night, I said, I don't care if I don't fall asleep tonight. Fall asleep if you want. Don't if you don't want to. Doesn't matter to me. I started to fall asleep a lot better. Why? Wasn't all in my head. That was part of it. But I also said, I'm okay with never getting well. I'm okay with never falling asleep. I was okay with me. I was okay with living that life if I had to. But at the same time, I was starting to believe, because I was reading the books, that I was going to get well. Now, I didn't get well yet. And I didn't get well yet because I didn't meet my mentor who put a belief in me that I could make it happen. To this day, I can remember the words that she spoke to me. And since I'm not ready to reveal those yet because they're very, very personal to me, and I get very, very emotional just even thinking about them right now, that she had enough belief in me that I could make it happen. Sometimes we need that in life, right? Sometimes we don't have that from someone else. Maybe I didn't have that from someone else. But she instilled that in me. I turned the corner. I got well again. And it began to spill over into the rest of my life. I no longer desired anything. I was already there. So when I want and I look for and I desire anything in life, I have to say to myself, do I really want that? Am I willing to put in the work for it? And if the answer is yes, I begin to feel that I already have it. I wake up in the morning saying, it's already mine. It's already done. It's been accomplished, whether it be for training and exercise and health and whatever it is. And the expectation is no longer there. I don't expect it. It's already done. Now I just need to wait for my opportunities to step into them, but it's already done. It's already been accomplished. I'm already setting up the vibration. I don't know the deadline yet. I haven't set the deadline. I don't always know the timetable, but it's already done. If you're sick right now, you're already well. You need to wait to step into that. Now, do you have to stop doing the protocols and running the test and see the practitioners? No, because those are the people, those are the things that are going to get you to your end goal, but you already have to believe that it's done, that it's already accomplished. It just isn't here today. You're not going to focus on that. You're going to focus on it's already done, it's already done, it's already done. It's already been accomplished. You're waiting now to step into that moment. The moment is now. You're going to feel it now. You feel those feelings of already being well. When you feel the feelings of already being well, already having the body you want, the career you want, the relationship you want, the spirituality that you want, if you already feel those feelings, guess what? Your vibration changes. It changes tremendously. If your vibration is changing to a level of someone that already has accomplished their goal, guess what you're going to attract to a much faster degree? That of which you desire. But you're already going to feel the feelings that it's done, and it will be drawn closer to you. Does anyone know truly how it works? Well, we try to pin it down with this thing that we call quantum science, quantum mechanics, that we are literally, everything is vibration, everything is frequency. And we are trying to match up with the frequency of that of which we desire. If we already feel that we've achieved it, if we already begin to feel those feelings and we meditate on it, we close our eyes and we feel that we already feel it, well, most likely we're beginning to become more in tune in frequency of that which we desire. Now, if all of this is incorrect, if all of this is wrong, how great is it still? That you can feel happy, that you can feel that you've already accomplished this thing, and you begin to become happier just because you're already living in that moment of having that of which you desire. And that of which you desire is truly a feeling. Well, what if you could feel that feeling right now? Whether you have the thing or not, but you could feel that feeling. That's just as good, right? Here's my opinion. It does work. I've seen it work in my life. I've seen it work in thousands of others. And there are millions of people around the world saying that it's worked for them. I'd love you to give it a try. I'd love you to begin to feel those feelings. Look up videos on it. Look up podcasts on it. Look up books on it. Begin to feel the feelings that you already have, that of which you desire. Thank you so much for tuning into today's Mindset and Motivation Monday. Always a pleasure to be able to speak with you. Thanks so much. And as always, do feel free to pass along this show to anyone you believe it could serve. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.